Hey everybody, this is Spencer from Pixel and Bracket, and in this tutorial, we're going to learn how to justify text in Adobe Illustrator. And if you want to support the channel even more, stick around for some of the bonus content at the end.
Now let me introduce to y'all, it's the one son of a musician refused to fall.
So I've opened up a new document in Illustrator. You can do that by going to File, New, and then I selected a 1920 by 1080 document size for my artboard, and then hit Create. So here we are. So to use the text tool, all you have to do is click on the text tool and then, or click on the type tool, and then you can click anywhere on your artboard, your canvas here, and you can start typing, right? But you'll notice that as you keep typing, it just keeps going and going and going and going, right? And you could hit enter and maybe do another secondary paragraph down here. However, if you click on this and then click on a corner, you'll notice that it skews your text, right? And then if you click on any of the paragraph options, yes, you can align it to the center and to the right, but if you click and try to justify any of these, you might be noticing that they don't work. So how do we justify text? Well, there's another way to create a text box. You don't just click on your canvas, you actually click and drag on your canvas, on your artboard, whatever. And once you let go, it actually fills that in. If you're updated, it fills it in with lorem ipsum. If not, it might just be blank and you can start typing. So we can type a nice little paragraph here. And once you have your paragraph typed out, you can align it left, align it center, align it right. Notice the difference here though, when I use my selection tool and click on the edges of my text box, my text will expand to fit that. I can also go up to paragraph and use my justification. I can align with the last line, align to the left, align to the center, align to the right, and I can also justify all the lines. You'll notice, let's just go with the justify with the last line aligned to the left. As I expand and contract the text box, it expands and contracts the word spacing, as well as bumping words up and down as needed. So that's how you justify text in Adobe Illustrator. Pretty simple, right? If you guys found some value in this tutorial, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to support me a little bit more, stick around for a little bit and I'll show you how you can create, using justified text, a cool little justified text poster like this one. Alright, so before the break, I talked about creating a justified text poster just like this one here. Let's do that right now. I'm going to create another artboard. So that I have this artboard here with all this. So we're just going to copy that by going to Document Setup, Edit Artboards. I have an artboard here. I can move it around. If I hold Option, click and drag, and hold Shift, I can drag that artboard out and duplicate it over here. Now I'm just going to go back to the selection tool and I'm going to go ahead and delete everything that I have here so that I can show you guys from start to finish how to create this little poster effect. Alright, first thing I want to do is create my background. I'm going to select this yellow color up here, and then I'm going to select the rectangle tool. Click in the upper left hand corner of my artboard and just drag down to the lower right hand corner. From there I can let go and I have a background for my artboard. Use the selection tool and I can click on it and then align it and make sure it's aligned to the artboard, not the selection. And then I'm going to horizontal, vertical, and we will lock that in with Command 2. So now I have a nice yellow background. So how do I create this little effect here that says be creative? Well, I'm going to create a text box like we did earlier. Same way, about the size that I want it to be on here. It's going to fill it in with a bunch of text. That's okay. Let's go ahead and type out be creative. I'm going to use caps lock and just do be creative. No spaces yet. Then I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to change this to the font that I have, which is Program. That's a Typekit font. And I'm not sure why it's showing up all the way down here, but I'm going to click on the bold. So Program OT Bold. You can go to the Typekit and download that, or just find your own bold font. So we have be creative written out here. Now remember, I can actually justify this text by clicking on paragraph and going to justify. We're going to justify all the lines. Perfect. Now I want to scale this up. Let's go to 50. I'm just going to kind of guesstimate until I find that maybe 75. That might be a little much. We'll back it down to 70. I have the text justified and it's sized about right. I'm going to go to paragraph and turn off the hyphenate. So now I'm going to break this out in the same way. So a row of 2 and then 3, 3, and 2. So I'm going to hit enter. Go ahead and hit return on that. And then I'm going to hit enter after the CRE. I'm going to hit enter after the in between the I and the V. And I have my text. But why is this so separated? Oh, that's because it's all justified. What I can do is add a character. So let's say we just add like a hyphen in. And that's going to bump that B over so it's lined up with the center column. And then I could do the same thing after the E down here. Enter in a hyphen, and it's going to line that E up with the center. And the V is already justified left, and the E up here is already justified right, so we're all good. If I want to preview this while it's still editable, I could take those little hyphens and change their color to the color of the background. That'll make them disappear, sort of. They're still there, but you can't see them. So you could preview this and then edit it later. However, I'm going to go ahead and bring that back because I'm going to show you how to line this up. So you notice that I actually have this lined up pretty well. Everything's centered. But look, this B here is actually out of line with the R. The I over here is out of line with the E. So we're going to want to center those up and sort of finalize this. But before I do that, I'm going to make sure I got all the sizing and spacing correct by clicking on our text box. And then I'm going to bring back that background color that we locked earlier. I'm going to hit Option Command 2. It's going to bring back any locked layers. And I'm going to select both of these, the text box and the background. I'm going to click on the background, and now I'm aligning to that background as a key object. So if I hit the horizontal align center and vertical align center, it's going to line up that text box in the very center of this. I think it's a little close to the edge here, so I'm just going to click on that text box and hover over the edge of it here in the very center, and I can adjust the centering of this. But if I do this just like that, I'm gonna have to recenter it up. So what I can do is actually hold Option while I click and pull that in, and it's gonna pull it in from the center. So now I can just line this up and get the spacing that I want. Maybe I want a little bit more line spacing here, so I'm gonna go up to Character, and then underneath the leading settings here, I'm actually just gonna increase that a little bit. We'll try to match the poster we had before. That looks good. So now we're all lined up. I'm going to outline the text next. That way we can center everything up. Go up to Type and then down to Create Outlines. Also Shift Command O. And what that does is it basically creates a shape out of each one of these letters that we had before. So it's not editable anymore. So at this point you've kind of gone past, you're finalizing your design. You don't have an editable design anymore. From a type standpoint. This is all grouped together, so I'm going to ungroup it with Shift Command G. Also, I can right click and hit ungroup. And now we can start to align this stuff. First thing we could do is actually delete our hyphens, so we can just get rid of those guys. Delete. And then I want to line up maybe everything on the C, R, and the E. We're going to select everything in this column by clicking on it and then holding Shift and clicking on each object. Then I'm going to let go of Shift, click on the E, and you'll notice it's highlighted now. That means we're aligning on that as a key object. And I'm just going to hit the horizontal align center. That's going to bring the I over into the center of the E. Let's do the same thing with each of these. Hold Shift, click through each of them, then let go of Shift, click on the R, and we'll do the horizontal align center. That's going to bring everything centered up on that R. We'll do the same thing here with the C. Shift, click each of these, click on the C, horizontal align. That's just going to line everything up. So the last thing I want to do is probably just group everything together except for the background. So we'll Shift click that to deselect it. I've got all my letters selected. Let's go ahead and hit Command G. That'll group them together. Now I can sort of move them around. And I'm going to Shift click on my background and then click on it without Shift to highlight it, make it the key object. And I'm going to make sure everything's centered up, horizontal and vertical. There we go. So that's how you create this kind of cool typographic poster with justified text. Hope you guys learned something. Once again, like this video. Check out the rest of the channel. Subscribe if you want to. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys later.